Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Before we start with the meeting, I would like to open up the floor for any owner comments. Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, if you don't mind just saying your name and address and then go right ahead.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anne Ford and I'm in Spring Lake, 1352 Capital Drive. And I have been a year-round resident of Spring Lake for 8.5 years. And I've participated in aqua yoga for 4 years. I started during COVID. And so 8.5 years in celebration. But because I was working full time, I didn't know anybody. And when I retired, I made a couple of efforts to try and connect with various organizations and groups, not very successfully. But when I started with aqua yoga, it was immediate connection. And through aqua yoga, I feel a member of celebration. And so there is a saying that you need to find your tribe, certainly when you attend. And aqua yoga is my tribe. And so aqua yoga hits all of the elements that I was looking for. It's outside, it's in the fresh air, it's in sunshine. We have uplifting, motivating music. We have exercise. And I've made some lovely friendships with the various participants. It helps me physically and mentally and emotionally. And it truly is the foundation routine for my week. And the aches and pains of older age that we do have, we can forget about them, get some exercise, have some fun. And so I have tried land yoga in the past, unsuccessfully. And I know the theoretical benefits of yoga. I am successful in the water with yoga, so that has been fantastic for me. And another key component of it is, certainly as an older celebration resident, is affordability. And so those of us who are retired on fixed income, it's really important that we can afford to participate in it. So I'm grateful for the town's support for aqua yoga. It is a value add to the community, especially for older residents. And as I said earlier, it's through aqua yoga I now feel like a member of celebration. So thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Anyone else? No.
Hello there, I'm Michelle Lowe, and my address is 1845 Island Village Way. As a new resident in 2022, I was looking for a class that would provide me with exercise and balance, flexibility and strength. And I had tried many years ago, and I enjoyed it, regular yoga. And guess what? I tried it again. In this body at this age, and I found out that I did not have the strength and the movements that are really needed for land yoga. My body had changed. So I had seen the advertisement in the Celebration magazine for aqua yoga, and I thought, I love the water. I'm going to try aqua yoga. And right from the beginning, I knew that this was a class that I really needed. With Nina's instruction, it really helps my flexibility, my joint pains, have not been as bad. My strength has increased. And it really encouraged me to go to this class 3 days a week. I mean, no matter how I feel in the morning, when those classes are on, I'm going to Aqua Yoga. Now, I might get that, but I have been diagnosed with neuropathy in my feet and my ankles. And moving in the water really helps with the resistance when you're exercising. It's totally different than being on land, although you can do many of the same movements that are on land in the water. The next class, you have an outdoor experience. I mean, you have beautiful celebration. Music is provided according to the moves that we make. We have the camaraderie of others, other residents that we really enjoy. And if I don't show up for a class the next day, I'm asked, where were you? So you know what, it really makes you have a feeling of inclusion. And I think that's really important for socialization. I hope that you can recognize the value that Nina shows with her enthusiasm, her knowledge, her just her energy. And I'm sure there are days that Nina doesn't feel like instructing us, but she is there. We always know she's there. And for that, I really hope that the residents can enjoy more of these classes. And these are the kind of programs that you want in celebration. And thank you so much. And I'm going to continue on.
Lucille, thank you. Any other owner comments?
Dory Moyer, 515 North South Circle. I just came because, I understand that there's a possible conversation coming up about putting pickleball lines on tennis courts. And I'm just gonna say, I don't play it. I live by them, but I don't play them. I have three things on, well, try to say really quick. Number one is that, I live near there, but that's not really the main reason, because and a lot of pickleball is happening there. It's a very noisy sport. It's a NIMBY sport. And there's more and more people playing pickleball there, and less tennis players. And over the years, we've heard from the tennis people saying, we don't have enough courts. We don't have enough courts. Well, now they really don't have enough courts. So, and then there's so many different lawsuits about people. I mean, I have 5 pages of things that said pickleball is expanding, tennis is mad, lawsuits, pickleball lawsuits in Florida, and different pickleball finds growth, conflicts with HOA, because a lot of times that if you don't have the lines on the tennis court, putting them on after the fact, especially in residential areas, people are upset about that. So they don't want you to do that. Okay. So that's one, is the noise, because it is, and I think that I watched the tennis players, you got 2 people playing tennis, then you have the pickleball people over here, and they're very noisy, because it's 20 people that come and play pickleball, because they're rooting people on, it's usually 4 at a time. So the noise is one thing, the tennis courts for the tennis players are going to be depleted, and that's going to have a new uprising, I think. But the main thing is pickleball should have their own courts, and that's the main thing. And I think that it is the fastest growing sport. I see it, I watch it every day. More and more and more and more people are coming out to play. They really need, and it is an NIMBY sport, and it is a great sport, as you were saying too. It's for all ages, because you have the little kids playing with grandma, grandpa, mom, and dad. It's a family sport, and I would really like to see more conversation come up about letting pickleball have their own courts, letting tennis folks have their own space, and then one day maybe everybody would be happy. Maybe.
Any other owner comments?
Matt Walton, 1410 Celebration Ave, Unit 203. Owner of the Celebration Cyclones. And if I knew we were bringing members, I could have filled this whole room for you. So I am going to speak on behalf of all of them. It's been about 2 months now that we've been without a pool. And we are all frustrated. We have told Grand Manners last year around this time of these problems, nothing was done. We have continued through the summer telling problems. We keep getting pushed away. Right now, I actually had prepared a speech to express exactly what is going on and how we feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to address a pressing issue that has affected our community profoundly. For nearly 2 months now, we have been without a pool, a vital resource for our members of our team, the community, and everyone here. This absence has not only led to the loss of countless members for us, but it also cost us thousands of dollars in revenue. Yet, how am I skipped here? I don't want to get into this, never mind. We're wondering, we see, what we learn is in Monday Matters or Friday News or something like that. We see that you're going to open Spring Park here and close Lakeside. But it seems Lakeside is going to be the only one with the heater fixed. So we ask, why would you send us to Spring Park to a non-heated pool again? Communication is key in any partnership. And I must express our disappointment in the lack of it. We have shown up to the pool ready to train, only to find the pool locked and have been told to relocate to the Great Lawn. A simple email alerting us of these changes would have not just been courteous, but essential. We have invested a significant amount of money into using this pool, banking on its availability and functionality. We were under the impression through the Friday flashes and everything that January 2nd, we would be coming back to a heated pool. Instead, we are wondering why the necessary part wasn't purchased sooner, allowing this situation to spiral into a catastrophe, only for a warranty to suddenly appear, which is making this go on longer and longer. This ongoing issue feels as if it's an attempt to push us out of a business. A sentiment echoed by the dissatisfaction among our team members. We deserve better. We deserve transparency, communication, and a commitment to resolving these issues promptly. Yes, my main thing is the town wants a heated pool, and we want Grand Manners to do what they got to do, and that's it. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Any other comments? I have 2 letters that I'm going to read from owners who were unable to be here. The first one is from Alice Krager, Krieger. Forgive me, Alice, if I pronounce that incorrect. It says, I've been attending Aqua Yoga since 2021. At that time, I joined Aqua Yoga to help with my rapid deteriorating bad knee. After my knee surgery, Aqua Yoga aided me in quickly recovering from my total knee replacement. Over the course of the past 4 years, I have found this class invaluable. In addition to my bad knees, I also experienced frequent bouts of sciatica. My physical therapist said, and I quote, by all means, please continue your yoga water class. There's nothing better for you. In addition, Aqua Yoga has been a lifesaver for my mental and social well-being. This class is amazing, and I look forward to it each and every week. I enjoy it so much that I often attend all 3 weekly classes. Oh, and did I mention the fabulous instructor, Nina, who always puts our safety and enjoyment at the top of her list. I've tried some classes at the hospital, but there is nothing like being outdoors and enjoying this beautiful place we call home. The classes are filled with an array of welcoming individuals, from senior ladies to couples, mothers and daughters, full-time residents and snowbirds. Let me just finish by saying that Aqua Yoga has been my saving grace in more ways than anyone could imagine. Thank you for your time. The second letter is from Melody Nemeth, Nemeth, at 143 Longview Avenue. And it says, my comments. One, I have attended aqua yoga from conception. I have attended in aqua fit classes since I moved here 10 years ago. Two, as we age, it is better to do exercise in a pool rather than land as it's easier on your body. Three, I have spinal stenosis and the class have allowed me not to resort to surgery. And it has kept me limber and improved my flexibility and stability. I have not had to resort to taking prescription medication to manage my back. The social aspect of the class is great and our instructor is awesome. She cares about her attendees and always asks how we are doing. I enjoy the music and the zen that we get. Four, the best water class I've ever taken. Nina has made the wellness fun. Five, water is better as it cushions your body when you exercise and you can do more for a longer time to stay limber. And that is the end of that letter. So with no other further owner comments, I will call this meeting to order and verify that we have enough attendance for a quorum. So with that, I will ask you to review the agenda in front of you. Does anyone have any questions about it or comments? Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Marco, second. Second. Catherine, all those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the action discussion items. The first will be the approval of the meeting minutes. Our last meeting was Tuesday, December 10th. So I'll give you a second to review those and open the floor for any questions or comments. Do I have a motion to accept the Recreation Committee meeting minutes from December 10th?
Motion.
Mike, second. Lindsay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll move on to the second action item, Park and Rec's update from Mickey.
So December 13th, we had a kids' night out. We had 40 kiddos here at Heritage Hall. We brought a vendor called Oddities Entertainment on property that the kids actually loved. And it was a Toyland theme. The next kids' night out will be March 28th. It's going to be a St. Patty's Day party. The next upcoming event that we have for Parks and Rec wise is March 1st. We have the Fortune Yard sale from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration deadline for that is February 21st. $10 for a single family home for signage and to be included on the map. And then it's $15 each per table if you're in a condo, apartment, etc. Some upcoming events that we have for the special events side, lifestyle side, is on February 20th. We have a concert in the park, as well as a father-daughter dance on February 21st. And it's going to be a Taylor Swift theme. So if you guys have kids,
Tickets are purchased. She's excited.
there you go.
Santa and Taylor, life is good.
Yeah. And then just the status on the volunteer program that we discussed the end of last year. We test trialed it over at Pups and Pints. We had 8 volunteers, so 1 for the costume contest, 3 surveyors, and 4 for the food and beverage. It went well. I think we're gonna try to figure out, we had a little bit too many volunteers at that event, so we're gonna work more with the special events committee as well as the Parks and Rec committee about where we can have the appropriate number of volunteers. But with all those volunteers, we saved 32.89 hours of staff time from those volunteers. Our goal is to utilize more volunteers with the Parks and Rec team, because usually we use staff members, evidence team like an ARC with the inspectors. We sometimes use office staff. So if we can focus on using Parks and Rec staff with volunteers a little bit more, we can actually free up some park and pool monitors to actually patrol, free up the inspectors to actually get those inspections done on a timely manner. But as of right now in the system, there's 23 volunteers that have registered through our system. Okay. So we'll keep you posted every month on that. And yes, pool heaters are still broken, unfortunately. Spring Park Pool, the heater is expected to open or to be fixed by late February. And then Lakeside Pool will be closing January 31st. for 4 to 6 weeks, which you're looking at probably at least the end of February, early March for it to reopen.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit disappointed on this project as well. I don't like to see programs, 2 programs are in this room not able to utilize pool, so.
Any questions or comments for Nikki based on those updates?
Thank you.
The next action item is to provide a recommendation to Crow Board on the Montessori Academy recess that will begin fall of 2025, so for the next school year. As a recap, I want to read number 3 under the adopt agenda, or excuse me, under the action discussion items from the December 10th meeting minutes. After coming back to the Recreation Committee, Victoria gave a recommendation to follow the guidelines that were originally given. The space is not rentable, therefore there's not a pricing structure. Management's recommendation was to give the school until May, not to disrupt their current school year. At the January meeting, we will revisit this topic and discuss all the school usage. The recommendation would be to invite the school and make it more of a workshop. So there needs to be discussion on what is rentable space, pools versus the usage of parks and public and private schools. The committee informed management to contact the Montessori school, letting them know that they're able to use the field until May, with the caveat that come fall, they'll need to make other plans based on what this recommendation is. So we are to provide a recommendation to PROA based on this. The way I see it is we have three choices to make. One is to continue with what has been, which is allowing them to use the open field as well as the playground at their disposal without any contract or fees or anything like that. I did ask, and it is 224 hours that they use the open field and playground combined. That would be between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday during the school year that's there. They do pay for private functions and other spaces that are what we deem rentable space on that, and pay approximately $5,000 a year in private function rental space. So either 1, continue as has been. 2, decide if we're going to come up with a rental fee structure, knowing that whatever is decided, this will not just apply to Montessori school, but that it will apply to all public, private schools within the Celebration area. Or 3, we make a recommendation to discontinue this program after this year and not recommend it for the 2025-2026 school year. So that's what I personally see as the 3 options we're selecting from. Does anyone have a different solution that's not on the table? So with that, for those 3 solutions, I'm going to open up the floor for questions, comments before that would lead us to a vote.
So I think to clarify, the bigger point being, whatever we do has to be across the board, consistent for all schools. We can't make a choice for one versus others.
Understanding.
Yeah, but they have been here for a long time too. Like there's some value to that. Where they have been using it, I don't think there's been any issues all these years using it. I mean,
We have had residents come and make comments that they felt that they didn't have access to the playground because it was overtaken by classes.
is that a lot? Like a.
And different age groups. So, what age does it go up to that uses the playground?
We have the representatives.
Okay, what age does it go up to?
It's actually, our sign-in time through the day are until about 8:30 and we stop. It's only a few hours a day, so I would say it's closer to 4 hours a day.
Okay,
So it's 20 hours a week at most.
okay,
So and then it goes from pre-K to, the ones that actually use the park till about 12, 13 years old. Additionally, those kids are when they're broken down by classroom, there's never more than 25 to 30 kids at any time in the park. So
okay,
it definitely isn't an overwhelming amount of children utilizing the park where it would preclude residents and their children from being at the park at the same time.
okay. Okay, so at 20 hours a week, so not being full months every month, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, so that's 10 months. And if you take out, let's say, even if we took out 2 full months because of breaks and stuff like that. So 8 months, so 4 hours, I mean,
160.
yeah, so 160 there. So that's what we're looking at for an hour thing.
The two issues are that residents complain that the park is too full for them to use it during the day. And the second one is we have to be even across the board.
Well, the third being playground is not available as a rentable space. We get birthday parties asking all the time, but it's not a rentable space.
We don't have a fee structure in place for that.
And if other schools decide they want to come use it, now it's not just 25 to 30 kids, it could be more.
I think the value, if that does happen, then we cross that bridge when you come to it, right? Because, you know, can they stagger how many kids come out at a time
Absolutely.
to make it less at each time? That way instead of having, how many kids are come out, here's 30 at a time?
25 to 30 at most, and if there's a time when there's a conflict, should another school want to bus in children? Ours is literally across the street, so you would have to bus in other children from another school to use it. Should there ever be a conflict, we would have no problem taking the day off.
Yeah, and that would be for that particular playground. So there's other playgrounds that other schools are closer to. For instance, if KinderCare wants to start walking to North Village Playground, now they should be able to have 20 to 25 kids on the playground at all times at that one. And there has been requests for that in the past that have been done.
I just think that it would be, I mean, like how long has Montessori been here? Since the beginning of the celebration, right?
So the field is rentable space. Is it, how unrealistic is it to use the field? For PE or
I'm unaware that we're using much more than the field. I thought that was basically what are they using the slides and things as well?
My understanding is it's field and playground, right?
Just like,
Yes, that's what that-
they use everything, you know, and all, you know, it's like 20.
field has a fee structure, has a rentable space, and that would be, to me, that's a easy solution. Is that not?
It's a little more organized for some of the younger kids to use the playground. They're used to it because they live here. And, you know, so we would just have to figure something out, but, you know, and they have more fun because they know what to do, you know, so.
Or, trying to think of how many hours it goes through the week. We've got a structured PE teacher that comes and runs them through games and
Yeah.
workouts and such through cones. So they would be structured. So they more than likely are not using the playground for those hours.
The older children.
Those are the older kids.
I'm just thinking like if our backs against the wall had to make a decision where we weren't told we were told it was grandfathered in, so we have to approach this like it's to everyone and be black and white and consistent across the board. So my hope is if we were to go with something that is an actual rentable space and we could get an estate solution and with months to plan, hopefully there could be some type of like, this equipment is there, free to play, like I'm torn. Because I would love to say, great, but unfortunately with the position we're in, it's kind of one of those, we have to, whatever decision we make goes across the place for everyone, for every playground, so that's in a really position.
We also appreciate the committees taking into consideration the $5,000 or so from our rentals to Heritage Hall for our family events, our international festival. And that's been consistent over the course of the time that we've had the school.
The length of us being here.
Sure, we appreciate that as well.
Right.
Is there a way that, okay, so let's say that we were to stagger how many kids are at the time. So now we've taken care of the complaints of there's too many kids. I'm like, I never see that many. I mean, I know there's play out there. I live right out in the park. There's a lot, but it doesn't seem like there's plenty of space. But okay, let's just assume that I don't see it all the time and it's really packed. It can't go. So if we were to stagger the classes to go out for physical activity, and then maybe we can put them together with the board and say, hey, can we, maybe there's a fee structure, maybe not the full price, per hour.
The rate that we have for the field, it's $100 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. Because they would not qualify for the resident rate. It would be the non-resident rate on that. Now,
I would say that there's got to
in
be.
bulk, for so to say, when you're buying.
And a lot of the groups that use the facilities, and I know Montessori makes money too, but they're a business. Now, they're a business too, but they're also a school and it's young, and it's kids and it's all that extra stuff too. And I think that's in the spirit of celebration. We do have that kind of energy and activity. It's nice to see. And a lot of people that go to school at Montessori that live here. I think there could be some concession made that, yes, we have to go by a fee structure. Maybe there is wiggle room where we can find a happy medium where we can charge more or recommend to charge something. That way we acquiesce to people who complain about, well, why am I getting charged all this money per hour? Well, you're a business and this is for your benefit. The school benefits kids, right? So, in the community too.
I do want it to be said, though, that other conversations coming in a later year, based on what we discussed in 2024, that there will be charging possible fees for even public school, which is a non-for-profit, and using the
Well, even like
pools
going
and
back to our
stuff like that.
ROTC,
In the ROTC, we charge them, and that's a non-for-profit.
Right.
So I think that's where it comes back to whatever we do.
There's a big domino effect.
We've already said to
Yeah.
ROTC, we're charging you, and they're nonprofit. We've already kind of put the bug in the swim teams here. We have to start
Right.
charging you based on the wear and tear of the pool. Whether that's fields or playgrounds, whether that's Montessori public school,
Right.
any other else in town, learning center, kindergarten, whatever. There's gonna have to be consistency. And I get that length, there definitely should be something said for length of, or seniority in the town, so to say, for the
Yeah.
time that they've been here. But then we also, kids are kids. I mean, they don't understand that just because you're at a new school.
Right.
And I think has us in a bit of a rock and hard place. What we do needs to benefit all kids and be the same for all kids, no matter where you attend school or how long your program has been in this town.
So maybe this is a catalyst for that discussion when schools do come in. So if it's a school as opposed to a guy that's just, hey, I'm gonna go train 50 people, whatever.
Right.
Tai Chi, whatever the word, whatever it is. Something should be said, the fact that it is educational, it is benefiting the kids. Maybe this starts that conversation and then we can standardize it for, like, let's say, all right, this is the rate per hour for an educational, that we deem education.
We
We do have that.
they have the 20% off if they're not for profit. We have the sliding scale,
Like we do for the high school.
but whether you're, yeah, and so going back like to ROTC, because they were nonprofit, they had their rate, but then they were getting 20% off of that because they were.
Oh, gotcha. So it's the nonprofit plus the 20%.
So it's that work was already done in 2 years to create the grid.
Yeah, so that grid's in place. And as of a CROA meeting in the fall, I have no idea what month, they did say they want to continue with that. And as the CROA board, they stood behind that sliding scale still.
But our OTC would be here and there, right? They wouldn't be doing it every single day, like.
No, it's a one-off in that.
So maybe we can put a caveat in there saying it's a bulk deal, like it's something that we use 5 days a week, every day of the week. As opposed to ROTC or Boy Scout, whoever, hey, we go in there once every month or 2 months or whatever and have a party or whatever the deal is. In their case, I mean, we could say it's education, and it's for all schools, not just for Montessori, it's education and they use it a lot. Maybe there's a, I don't know, bulk discount or volume discount or whatever that could maybe make it a little bit more.
I think that would stray from what we have set. Though. That's the only thing is we have these guidelines set. And my whole motto the whole time has been consistency.
I know it's.
I want to follow that so that I could look anybody in the eye and say, we didn't give preferential treatment. We followed what was approved by CROA.
Now we're talking about the rental of the field, but what about playground? This way we can't charge.
To me, the playground's kind of off the table just because it's not rented.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Mark, you haven't said a word.
It's very hard when you talk about kids.
Yeah.
And the racial partners, it's hard to decide. My suggestion is to offer Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, like 3 hours on that time and try to make it fit in their program and charge for the field and they can use the playground as well. But in the other hand, we have other people outside of celebration trying to rent our pools, fields, rooms and everything.
Playgrounds too for birthday
Playgrounds.
parties.
I think, yeah, the big point to me is we turn down playground rentals. So it becomes tough.
Yeah.
It's your cost where.
Yeah. It's
Because
tough. It's so different,
If you have a 4-year-old who isn't in school and I want to have a birthday party on a Tuesday morning, why is it rentable to them but not to me? Why do they
Which
have access to not to me? And it's in a different category of homeowner association versus local vendor. I don't remember what
Yeah.
the exact term for that is called, forgive me, but they do pay different things than what homeowner does. And they do pay to the community as well, like he said, for the 5,000 in
Well,
rental.
additionally, we pay into the Cronulla
Yeah,
as well as
which,
the rock.
Which doesn't come.
Which
which
doesn't
doesn't
come to
play
you,
with this.
We're just constantly, every direction we're providing to the community.
Right,
Yeah, rentals.
We're not rentals.
right.
So
Right.
in addition to the rentable space, the rented, the Heritage Hall and much more, we're providing into the Builders Association, the property tax base hopefully, and full service donation to the community
Sure.
betterment.
The unfortunate part is Cronulla doesn't affect this part of it.
Yeah.
It's a one big pie, but that slice doesn't fit into what we say.
Yes, in a sense, but my wife pointed out that when she was part of the original foundation of the school and selecting that location, in the interest of Celebration being a planned development,
Right,
we put the school next to that park for that exact reason. It was approved for that exact reason. And these businesses, everything just works together so beautifully in Celebration. That's the beauty of this area, is the businesses are part of the community, that walk to live scenario, as well as a school being there, the homes being built around the multi-parks and the it's all, while one bucket may not be filling each one financially, they are all interchangeable in the sense that this is how we're building the community for betterment.
right. But the financial is a huge part of it, as especially as our residents were very, very vocal this past vote about not wanting their homeowners association dues to increase. And as we continue, I mean, we just put in that playground, there will be wear and tear normally on it. And so I do think the financial is a huge piece of it when considering it. All right, so we kind of kick this ball every different way. Does someone want to make a motion and then we'll have a vote?
I think we should look into renting them the field for,
Perhaps they're low on me, at a bulk rate.
I say we talk to the board about if we can do a bulk rate.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that saying not to do the playground
At the moment,
for the next school year?
my suggestion would be.
And at this point, just so you guys are aware, this is nothing more than a recommendation. Then that recommendation goes to PROA. They'll have it, my understanding is they have a discussion just like this. You guys are welcome to come and comment again, and then they have the final say. So we have a motion that we would do a rental of the fields with a certain hours per day, to your point, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., wherever that ends up saying, with a rate that's there, and not have the playground. Is that what your motion is?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Right.
Okay. Are you comfortable with all that, Danny, for writing that out for PROA?
You will write it, I will.
So, yeah, hold on one second. So if, being that they are, they are a business in Celebration who's been there since the beginning of time, if we have to charge them, how does the committee feel of giving them the resident rate, since they are a business here in Celebration?
I think based on what PROA votes, if they say yes, they're willing to do it that way, then we'll need to come up with a rate structure at that time. I don't think we're discussing what that rate would be at this moment, because we don't even know if that's accepted or not. But we would come up with some bulk discount.
Yeah, something
If we
along,
exceeded-
because they are
Right.
resident, because they do have a building here.
Right.
This is just rent,
Majority of the children
and they are.
are. I
That's
think
what they
everybody's on the
do, you know.
same page of wanting that.
Yeah, and that money definitely goes towards the wear and tear of it. I mean, it can pass the red face test on that. I just don't think we're discussing what that rate is till we know PROA accepts or not.
You can see if it works for 3-6 months, then
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we want something for them.
I agree.
And
Okay.
I think we should find out how many of the children, the percentage that are residents versus not.
If it gets to that point, yeah. Because that's what we do with our clubs. Moving on to number 4, review 2025 recreational contracts with adjustments. The first one is for Aqua Yoga. There is looking to be a price adjustment due to the change in time needed. They are on a non-peak period time. Nikki, can you please remind me what those times were?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So 3 hours.
3 hours a week, 1 hour, 3 days a week. Previously, what were they paying?
I have copies.
Yep.
Thanks, Nina, this is awesome. Thank you.
Okay,
Want me to?
yeah, can you break this down?
Yeah, so, hi, my name's Nina. I think I know most of you. I've been a resident here, Celebration, for 10 years. I live at 1589 Castile Street. And I'm retired from the insurance and finance industry, just so you know, but I've been teaching aqua yoga here since the pandemic. I think we might have been the only thing that complied with the Florida governing rules, that we were able to have an activity in the celebration for a while. So I appreciate that. What I'm here today for is to give you like a quick idea of what I paid last year. So if you look at 2024, it shows you the total gross collected,
Right.
what I paid to the town, which was the 20%. If you look right next to that, if we go based on what the contract states now, at 208, that's a 40% gross of my base. I don't make a lot. I'm a little tiny small business. It's my sideline retired career here. We use it at not peak time. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We are in and out of the pool. You don't even know we came. I bring all of my equipment. My ladies are unbelievable. We even take down the umbrellas. Everything is immaculate. So just to give you an idea, we are in and out of there 3 hours a week, maybe 40 weeks out of the year, if that. Because I do take vacations. But a 40% gross or the flat rate will bring me up to a sizable amount. And I understand the town. I've been at many of the meetings that we're trying to make money. We're a small little fish in a big pond.
Absolutely.
But my service to the community is huge, huge. So I have to be certified. Well, I am certified as a yoga instructor. I have a lifeguard certification. I take safety courses because God forbid something happens at the pool. And just to serve my community. And many times, peaks and valleys that I've had for the last 5 years, going on 5 years with this, I've stepped back and said, you know, what am I doing? So I'm here to ask you to look, and I know we want to be consistent with things, but it's a little different than what other organizations bring. And the target audience, believe it or not, is unbelievable. Because I've had sons with their moms, older sons with their moms come, mothers and daughters. They're 99% residents. They come to the program and all different pregnant moms that can't exercise. So many, many things. So I'm just asking a reconsideration of what you're going to charge me, because honestly, 40% is a lot.
I think is the 208 the minimum for the threshold for the program development list, the designation of the club versus the program? I think that's where that number came from, because we recategorized everything. So I'm wondering if we could explore recategorizing you from a partner program to a.
That's exactly, because I was trying to figure out where the 40% was
So I-
coming from.
Yeah, so the contract says,
We don't,
it's,
with
yes,
all
we
due
will.
respect, we don't want you out of partner program because we don't want you paying that kind of money.
Mm.
What that means is that you would be a club and take you out of the, I have to pay this much.
Okay,
Everything else remains the same. The difference is what she gets access to, because as a club, you would only get 2 hours a month free. But in this case, that would be okay because this money makes up for the other hours that aren't free. Does that make sense?
so explain to me what your charge would be based on. Is it a monthly charge? Forget the free hours. What are you going to charge me for? Because honestly, this is a lot of money
Of course, no, and I don't want,
based
I'm on
on
the same page as you.
what I'm doing and what I have to put out. to
No,
offer
it
the
doesn't
service.
work in your benefit based on 3
No.
hours a week in any way, shape or
No.
form. It's built more for the Marco
Yes.
pregnancy that has.
And I get it. Yeah.
So that's where we made tiers, so where there's like a minimum
You're right.
threshold for partner
Okay.
programs. So if we change your designation,
Okay.
then it changes the fee structure.
Well, and I
think
greatly
that's what we're
appreciate
trying
it
to look
because I
into.
had some of the ladies come and talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
No-
they
nobody's
keep me in
arguing.
this, they keep
Nobody's
me in
arguing
this.
for benefits. Oh, no, you came in.
Yeah, so thank you. I really appreciate it because I understand what you're trying to do.
Well, and that was set by the finance committee. too.
Yes,
That-
which one of my ladies I need to talk to comes to my class.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting to me because when I saw this, I was kind of. So,
Well, and to answer your question on what we're going to charge you,
yes,
I don't know that answer.
okay,
And the reason is because we haven't workshopped that, like we said previously, on what we would charge the school.
Yeah.
And those types of things for the pool and those types of things. You may even come out ahead.
okay. The head would be good
The head
because
would be
behind
good.
isn't helping.
No. I
No,
don't,
because
because
again-
Here once.
I love what I do. And I love that I can make it a better place for such a diverse population. I mean, it has turned into something I never dreamed. And it really means a lot to people who come. I mean, I've had a 90-year-old woman in there doing aqua yoga. I mean, it's so gratifying for me to watch this. I have people come up all the time and say, this is amazing that you can get them in the pool. So it's
And this
just,
is really cool to
great.
hear and read.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes,
so we agree, but I don't have it black and white.
okay, well,
So
you
we'll
can work
we'll
out the
get there
details.
to look at switching the designation and then
Yeah.
we'll get you those answers.
Okay, and
So, but that makes you understand why. That was
Yes.
the minimum threshold for being a partner program, which is why it was
Right.
set at this rate.
And
And
I
it's not based on anything you submitted.
yes, yes, okay, awesome. Won't take any more of your time. My husband's like, don't talk too much.
No, you're good. You're
No,
good.
no.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay, but I wanted you to see what the map was.
Yeah, well, and it was
And
good,
it's
because I was like, where
fabulous.
did this come from? And
Yeah.
This
Minimum rate.
I
for-
know.
yes.
Yeah,
You're
it was my
100% correct.
contract, and then I think it was like before around Christmas, and I'm like, wow. Just
Well,
looking at my-
because you are, as you put it, a small fish.
Yes,
We don't want to make you sign contracts. We don't, I mean, not with all the
But you need to.
legalese that
right,
we would have to big fish versus, now eventually we are going to club signing something just because we have to have some legalese. to
yes,
guard the association, but not with the same. You should have to.
Just your mission statement alone fits the bracket
Right.
and the partner.
okay,
So-
awesome.
It's gotta be there too.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
listening to me, I appreciate your time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
What's that?
How are you doing?
Well, at first, a couple of ladies bought wetsuits, but honestly, it's hard to move in them. And I was afraid that they were gonna go under. And then the pool went below 70 degrees, it was like 68. And it's not safe with hypothermia. So what happens is, even with the wetsuit, your hands, if they get cold and your feet get cold, you can have like a heart attack.
Serious issue.
Yeah, like it's very serious. So, we swam we had only 2 classes in December. And I only was able to get one in January.
So we're kind of out of business right now in answer to your question, but I know you all are not taking care of the pools. And, you know, I know you would, but I'm sure you're getting most of the heat on that.
Yeah, and I do think it's worth highlighting that you're not prime time hours of when people are wanting to use it after school or, you know, those types of things when everybody wants it resident and club.
Well, and even when the Swift team needs the downtown pool in the summer, I move over to Spring Lake.
Yeah, you're willing to use.
I mean, we
different.
I flex to every pool, to accommodate others.
Which is
because we-
again why you should be more club.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be a club.
Great.
You're a club.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
No, we appreciate it. And thank you for putting this together.
Yeah,
because it was very
You're very welcome.
All right, moving on, Celebration Soccer Club. Do we know anybody with Celebration Soccer Club? All right, Marco, what do you know?
Yes, thank you to put this for us, to extend my contract. I think we have 1 or 2 more years, but.
So 2026.
So you're currently contracted through 26, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is to have like, we just received a letter, I know Daniel as well, from the city, we just received a letter from the city about Mickey of that. Renewing our contract with them for more 5 years, starting 2025 this year. So we have to till 2030 for Orlando City. We would have our award last year from the best soccer school for youth program that we have in the Austin, Central Florida. And one thing probably be more, and I offer including a sent to Mickey, like agreeing with the new price, the new amount that we are paying, and offer a little bit more starting the second year, like 10% the second year.
Okay.
And 15% third year, and keep the 50% on the third year, right? Please. So, but it's something that we can pay back to the give more money to the community. We also is helping. We are giving, I believe, 4,043 or 4,900, or correct me today is 5,200 back to the community. The sponsorship for Celebration residents and discounts in a lot of programs that we have.
Okay.
So the idea is to bring more people, and we have more time in the contract to be partnership. For us, it's an honor to be a partnership with town. I know that, and they don't want to finish our partnership next year.
Okay. Have we ever renegotiated a contract with a partner program before?
The expiration.
Yeah, the deadline.
No, we haven't, but it's something that it can be brought to the table. Just never had some, you know.
Never had anyone brave enough. No. Okay.
The idea is to bring this before the elections, because only if I got elected, I can use all the votes and everything, because we're gonna renew the contract next year as well, so we can.
That makes
sense.
sense.
The pro, I heard my pro.
The domino effect of
Yeah.
that, absolutely.
Well,
That's a good point.
Want stability for the business too.
Yeah.
That's, we need to be fair.
Because in good standing, we hadn't even think about the program. Is there any reason we would not want to renew long term? I mean, I know I was fighting for years for longer term contracts than years, because it helps from business standpoint.
Right, I mean, I don't have any issues with Marco, and he's actually been helpful for our team as well. I'm saying that because he's a committee member.
I think the percentage point is
I
that's
think
more than the
that's what
standard
it is.
inflation. Is that?
Yeah,
I
the
am all
partner
for it.
programs, we're doing a 4% increase.
Okay.
For
Are you
some
doing
of the
that on
programs.
purpose?
I'm all for it. We trust in the community.
Why don't you just do 4% every year for 3 years? Same thing. That's your 15%. I mean, we want money, obviously.
The only thing is if for some reason increased, they would come back to him, just whoever's on this committee, I'm guessing.
So
Gotcha.
I would say look into extending it for the standard percentage increase. My concern with going above and beyond is it might set a precedent for other programs that may not be in a position to do that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would be open to looking to extending it with the standard percent increase that we're looking every year, not necessarily exceeding it. And then if you want to give donations to the community, I feel like that should be, you can do that on top. Yeah, I know you already do that. But my only concern is actually write in like, and then 10%, and then that's on paper that could then impact other.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's what I'm saying. Just do the same.
Yeah.
The contract says though that we review
Yeah.
we do annually. So it's the normal, that's a norm. That's not something we could change.
If you do something wrong over there, the contract says you can kick me out next day.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying. I don't know that
That's gotta be a 30-day notice.
I threw us like a Ponzi scheme. You got going.
So then my only thing is we do this and
That's another program. Yeah, everyone's gonna want to.
however, from a business point of view, I also understand if I'm signing a contract with one, I need to be able to sleep at night knowing I can back it up. And that's where he's at, right? He's being asked to sign up with
Yeah.
Orlando City. And he has to sleep knowing he has a place to put that contract that he just signed for.
And.
I do think because he's running for PROA does set a precedence that hasn't been before, that I said previously, the domino effect.
Right.
And I can pass the red face test as to why did you do it for him and not for her? Because she isn't running for PROA, and then we wouldn't be asking him to vote on his own program as should he be elected a board member.
Yeah.
I think even separate that. I mean, I think for a soccer school, you need that 5 year out to build it. You know, it's a lot of work.
Right.
Any league, not even soccer, any league, you need to be able to have a field, have a place I'm gonna be, you know, makes a big difference.
Kids have programs that have like a franchise situation, where they have to contract someone.
It's a little bit different than certainty, like indoor space.
And if there was.
Yes, it's all, if it was indoor space.
Right, so I think it's a bit different.
Yes, yeah.
There's a friend of mine, we signed a contract the other day, so it took like 2 years, 1.5 years on our time.
Yeah,
And we break even after the 30 year, so it was huge beginning, very not easy.
The contract review, so it doesn't, but
I
you
don't.
don't, it can't hurt, you know, if he does something wrong. You
So-
gotta get out there.
Without Marco voting, we still have enough of a quorum for a vote. Do I have a motion to extend the contract based on 4%, which is what it is currently, knowing that his contract says there's an annual review anyhow for pricing? Great. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Catherine, second, Mike, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to extend for 5 years. So.
Mhm.
Okay. Just wanna make sure.
5 years at 4%
And then review it.
and then reviewing annually.
See, it's out of line.
Oh, great.
3 seconds.
Catherine first, Mike second. The third one we have is Star Dibs. Is Star Dibs here?
No, he's not.
Okay. I just wanted to give him
So,
a moment.
What is Star Dips?
it's like martial arts, self-defense. So his program, used to be over at Town Hall Tuesdays and Thursdays. Since Town Hall is under construction here at the moment. He's utilizing Jones Room one day and the athletic complex another day. I believe it's, Tuesdays is Jones Room, Thursdays is the athletic complex. Problem is, his participants are mostly kids and they usually walk from the school to the Jones Room. Ever since we moved him to the athletic complex one day to have him contained at least twice a week, he's been losing a lot of participants there. The kids can't get there. It's a safety issue he's expressing. So he wants to see for the next 6 months if he can just decrease his flat rate, $77 less per month.
How much, I'm sorry, what does he pay now? To
It
the,
would be
to,
$77 and he wants to pay 400.
You're doing an amazing job.
He does 2 hours.
It's hurting, and the quality of the location was changed on him without his control. So to me, that means the financial that was agreed on is completely changed.
yeah, right. It's
I have a
$77.
Motion to authorize a 6-month decrease in rent from 477 to 400 based on location change at Town Hall.
Motion.
Mike second, all those in favor?
Perfect.
All right, moving on to the fifth action item. We have arts and music here.
So pleasure. That, well, I am. Long time. We used to do a lot of volunteering when she was over at Gift Gets the World. The reason I was because this year we've been doing performances over at. So she talked to me about the opportunity about bringing. So if you wanna go to that, so. We partner with nonprofit organizations through. A lot of them. Shine, every. Doublecast. Ability of 75 people in the audience. Good, you're good. And and they contact system. People and children get with and they want us to go in and production for put it together for them. Are able to say, okay, this passed through, nobody is paying this out of the love for performing. Dollars go productions. Yeah, made up. Great space. That's for her. So, any questions? You,
Kids dance together,
we have,
come in and teach our kids.
yeah,
Put on a production with our kids.
yes. On that, yep.
Spend like a couple weeks
Mhm.
summer.
Yes, we. Correct. Graham, yes,
The nonprofit organization that you donate money,
yes.
celebration or all around?
So always in nonprofit. So here, all you have to say, Vivian, we're interested. Is that we keep or like this. Expand ad. The only except.
I say, as a former participant of the community theater when I was younger, it developed so many skills.
Yeah.
My confidence, community, the people that I've formed with them, I still know.
Mhm.
I'm 63 years old. I was 15.
Yeah, yeah. It's family.
I still know these people.
It's family.
Some of them went into professional theater on Broadway. Others became professional singers.
Mhm.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
amazing.
It is. Yeah. We definitely. Because. To see productions. So, it is. Performers, like I said,
It gave me the confidence to audition for the Rockettes.
there you go.
To be turned down because I was too short.
Oh, you did? Did it though? Yeah, you did it.
Too short, too top heavy, sorry.
It's all good.
I did it.
You did it.
And I had to-
And that memory forever.
Yeah.
I think this is worth us recommending to continue to explore. To your point, Marco, I think this is looking at how this works with Embrace or Celebration Foundation.
Yeah.
Are those organizations that we have here.
Yes, like that.
Um, In all honesty, until we know more about town hall, this is highly coveted room. Like the whole town is trying to get this room, so I don't necessarily know. I mean, if we could do it, we're definitely open to it. But everybody's fighting for this room right now without town hall. But once and when town hall is up and running, as we continue to grow with you, then space comes open and totally open to it. Motion to explore this, having Grand Manners, work on it, putting them in touch with some of our nonprofits here in town and just figuring out the details.
Absolutely. A motion,
Absolutely.
Catherine, second, Mike, all those in
Yeah.
favor?
More to
Would
come.
this go back to the rec committee afterwards? You want to revisit back to the rec committee?
Yeah, I think we need to look at what all does she need from us, does Grand Manners need from us to get we want the ball to roll forward. We just don't know what all that means yet.
Yeah, well, like, do they need to be designated as a program, a club, whatever, or is this more of like, just like a
Do they fill out an
vendor? Like, I
application?
think that's kind of.
And we kind
Yeah,
of,
so-
yes.
It could be, well, it could be we fill it out as a vendor or we have a partnership. Cause I know Pro could be a sponsor.
I was gonna say there's
For
some.
the-
Yeah, partnership.
Still for a
You can
partnership,
do like a contract agreement where it's these benefits, like the percentage could go to certain nonprofits.
Yeah, that's what we have to figure out. I think it's gonna be more of a partnership and us figure out what we don't know yet, basically.
And you can. Answer. It up between their different numbers.
Yeah. That may be something that Proa does and then Foundation and Embrace, et cetera.
But I love the thought of having summer breakout camp too.
Yes.
That's all I started and, yeah.
So when.
Yeah, of course.
I can do accept.
So we can work all that.
Yeah, we can work all of. Absolutely. We've done all of that.
Yeah.
Costuming. All that. And even.
Yeah.
So you will continue to keep my contact moving forward.
Myself and
Awesome.
Allison.
And now what happens is we give this as a proposal to Proa. And then they give.
And
the-
Proa is.
Is the select board.
Okay.
Owners association.
Okay,
Just a recommendation.
okay,
And they give the official yay or nay, and then you continue to work with Nikki and team.
Great. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so. Bye, sweetheart.
We'll see you later.
Okay, the last thing on our action items is a discussion about pickleball on the tennis court. I will start the discussion. But I me personally, echo completely what Dory said. In my 3 years of being on this committee, every other month, someone has come in on how there's not enough tennis court space, that we're waiting for tennis courts. I've said before, my son plays tennis here in town, and he has said over the past 2 months, he's waited for a tennis court more than he ever has before. And he's very, his mom's threatened him, you do your hours, you do more than an hour, grounded, et cetera. So we're very diligent about that, and it's getting harder and harder. When I think of adding another sport on top of spaces that are already spread too thin, that our residents are already incredibly vocal about how thin they are spread, I don't think I could look any resident in the eye and say, this is a good use of space. I also do know that part of the master planning committee has and continues to address this on what that space looks like, whether it's pickleball only, whether it's a multi-purpose court, whatever. That I'm not a part of and don't know, but I do know that it's been discussed multiple times. I just don't know how we could say, it's putting a square peg in a round hole, in my opinion, because it's already stretched tight. Residents are already incredibly mad. Now we're going to add something more to that space.
Based on the way the last 3 years have gone. I don't,
It's a hot topic.
very hot topic and I
Well,
think,
they already rent this space. I'm sorry.
yeah, I just feel like once we open that door, it's.
Well, I voiced my opinion even with, with the volleyball courts. We should not modify courts for anything. A basketball court's a basketball court, volleyball court's a tennis court.
Yeah.
That's what it should be, because once you start modifying things, then I had this this discussion before when I think this was last year, can I go on a basketball court and make it a pickleball court when I want and just put the lines there and then just hang out and then, maybe leave for an hour, come back? You can't. It's a basketball court. And that was the issue with volleyball. Now, it's not a problem. It's all worked out. But the point is that once you start making it for multiple sports, then it costs us more money. It's more wear and tear. It's not intended for that. And now pickleball, I don't play pickleball.
Courts, nobody's.
We do, and I think it's really, there's a lot of support and a lot of people play in town. I think we should definitely pursue, or whatever, whoever decides it, to have pickleball courts. But not at the expense of courts that have already been established as they were built, meant to do. Tennis court should be tennis court.
Just a point of information, in the phase 2 of Island Village, are they still planning
Yes.
on putting on
Every day.
pickleball and tennis?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But the pickleball, I think they're not the same pickleball, Celebration Pickleball Club. It's only used in Northfield as far as I know. We can't really choose about that, but as far as I know, we have pickleball Monday for beginners, Tuesday for competitive people, and open courts. Wednesday is on evening because on the morning has tennis. Tuesday is more beginners and open courts, and Friday is more competitive.
Oh, that's great.
Including right now, they are having letters for that if I'm not wrong. But I don't think the Special Pickleball Club really had super bad. I truly agree that.
No, I think these are just, random people that are just setting up a net, whether they're residents or not.
I think, how do they make the lines? Like a portable line, they just kind of sit it.
It's like
Okay, so it doesn't mess up the court.
In 5 minutes, you build a pickleball court, you just put a line number that, like. And about the master plan advisory, we just recommended our RFP for the multiple sports, 4 multiple sports and 4 dedicated for pickleball, right in the lot B.
Good.
So.
That should be.
But I think we're running into that.
Then you avoid the noise too. Then you can have, because you're right, because pickleball is loud. It's by nature. You're playing, it's out, whatever.
What you come back to us to vote?
I think the point being, there's no room, there's no time, it's already stretched then.
Yeah.
Or it should be modified. That's what it should be. It just,
But how are we going to enforce it?
Well, if we make this line on market plus.
I know.
Yeah.
They can rate the North Village Pavilion, they can rate over there with the courtings. The shade.
Well, and this
Park.
discussion continues to back it up, that continues to inform PROA so that they can make their decisions, so that park monitors can say, good,
Yeah, definitely. Tennis is for tennis.
Agreed.
Stays consistent with what we said.
yeah.
And it's just, yeah,
Can you post a sign? So no.
We could definitely do that. So I guess the committee.
yeah, but at least it signs up and they can't do it.
And you need to point to.
Yeah, I know.
We vote.
But
All right, do I have a motion that at this point, we would like to continue to recommend that the tennis courts remain tennis courts and tennis courts only, knowing that the master planning committee is focused on pickleball and reasoning being that tennis is already stretched thin as it is. And that if there is a budget to add a sign, we would recommend that as well. Do I have a motion? Mark?
Second.
Second.
No, sorry.
Catherine, all those in favor?
Hi.
Do you have what you need for that part of it?
I do, yeah.
Good because they're not really pickleball in bus and they wait for.
Yeah. And they pay, don't they? Isn't it like a
Pay like
pay?
$5 per
Yeah.
game or 50 per year.
It's really well done. They have a website and everything.
Yeah.
And segregation.
Great job.
Levels.
That's amazing.
It is good.
Great.
That takes care of all of our action and discussion items. Do we have any member comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Mike? Marco, all those in favor?
Good job.
We do need to discuss real quick, the next meeting.
No, that's a quick enough. Yeah.
I can do the 4th or the 8th.